Okay, picking up in that third step, as I was talking about, the intimacy, the faith, trust, and commitment in that third step. Those are the faith, trust, and commitment. Those are the three principles, spiritual principles in that third step. Intimacy. The God of my understanding came to me out on my deck, sat right in front of me, and just let me in on that. My most intimate intimacy that I have had for decades has been with an object. Oh, that was a little hard to take, but things are getting clearer. But he has me look back principled in hindsight. See, looking back in hindsight, principled will always be 2020. Because what did the God of my understanding mean by that? An object. So it wasn't even living. Wow. Well, when I look back in hindsight, okay, because that's my work. You see, there's a relationship here. See, the God of my understanding will reveal to me. And then it's my part to do the footwork for the clarity. Okay? And he'll just keep revealing as I move in and do the footwork. So the first footwork I do, I take a reflect back. In principle, okay? If I look back in defect, I'm not going to see anything. I'm going to be closed-minded. I'm not going to be willing. I'm going to be dishonest. I'm going to be in denial, okay? I'm going to be in the fight, and there's going to be no hope. So when I look back, and so what did I start seeing? Well, I see my set, okay? See, I loved her, my set. I'd do anything to fill her because I loved shooting her. But the God of my understanding, it wasn't a her, see? It was an it. That was the first acceptance I had to get into. Then looking more into it, well, when I needed to fill her, because I needed to shoot her, because I loved her so much, which wasn't a her, it was an it, that would supersede the one I was married to. That would supersede my own mother. Okay? So who did I love? And who was my intimacy with? And who did I crawl up in a hole for weeks in brutal isolation with? None other than my set. Yeah. No, don't start fighting that, see? Get back into the first step. Get back into the first step. And just get into honest acceptance, okay? Get into action of giving consent to receive my power so you could take a real good look at that and undertake that and then surrender that to me. Completely defeated, praying only for the knowledge of my will and only for my power to be carried out in you. And never once has he failed, okay, to bring me to another place or to remove a defect when that prayer was said to him. No, it's not just a memorized prayer. It is the first actual application in order for any other application to take place. I must get with the God of my understanding. And surrender, one of those three principles of that first step. So I can't surrender it to that boulder over there. Okay, when I get into honest acceptance, because I first step things all day long, okay, the ability of living this program is my ability to recommit back to it. See, I stay in funk for moments these days. Not for days, weeks, months, years, decades, half a century. No. I get into honest acceptance of what I need to see. And if I don't, the fellowship is there because when things are too close, sometimes I don't see them and they become my eyes and ears. Getting back to the intimacy. Get into acceptance, and that's what I had to do. And I undertook that, and I surrendered that to him once again, like I just said before. He took that. Okay, so my intimacy was shown to me by the God of my understanding. And where that is today, I have no words for it. That's between me and the God of my understanding anyways. Okay, but there's no words for it. So what is that intimacy of that third step, the beginning of that? You know what I mean? Where did that take me now? I want to bring you in on a little bit of that. Where did that take me now? the faith, trust, and commitment, and the intimacy, something I never experienced other than with an object. It allowed me to understand appropriate intimacy. What? Appropriate intimacy. Appropriate intimacy. You see, the guy that's checking me out in Walmart, okay, or the person, I have an appropriate intimacy with them. You see, my sponsees, I have an appropriate intimacy with them, okay? All right? With my sponsor, there's also an appropriate intimacy with them also, okay? So where does an appropriate intimacy apply? Okay, it doesn't apply with the one who I'm married to. Once again, it doesn't apply to one who I'm married to and to the God of my understanding. Okay? Because there is no appropriate intimacy with the God of my understanding or the one who I'm married to. Okay? I now understand why appropriate intimacies exist with people and other people that I come in contact with. Why? Why is this so important? Because there was nothing appropriate in my life. There was nothing appropriate in my life. Okay? And to understand appropriate intimacy, okay, and there's different levels, like the guy at Walmart or my sponsee or my sponsor, there are different levels in there. However, with the one who I'm married to, it just gets deeper and more beautiful. It just becomes deeper and more beautiful. More permafrost, major frozen zones melt. You know, and with the God of my understanding, the same. It's only because of the God of my understanding that I have that in my marriage. It all comes from the God of my understanding. The relationship with the God of my understanding, now I can have relationships with others. The intimacy with the God of my understanding, now I could have intimacy with others. The honesty with the God of my understanding, now I can have honesty with others. The open-mindedness, the willingness, and the hope that I might have in someone, it's because I had it with God of my understanding, I still do. The acceptance and the surrender, yeah, because I have it with the God of my understanding. Everything profoundly ends and begins and ends with the God of my understanding. Working these principles and living them and behaving in them. It's his character. You know, so the intimacy. Once again, I knew nothing about faith, trust, commitment, intimacy. What, are you kidding me? You see, I thought I was the most intimate person around. I thought I was the most service-oriented person around. Well, this is what the steps revealed to me. Okay, let me talk about my service. I want to get into my service. Okay, this was my service. This is what it revealed. See, when I was coming back from Harlem, okay, or the Lower East Side, okay, all right, either coming through the Honnold or the Lincoln or the GW, and we get on the other side, okay, we've left many guys in the bathrooms of many gas stations because they couldn't wait, okay, to do their crap, to shoot their stuff, okay, and we were packing, okay, and they may be lying on the floor, but yeah, that's about how service-orientated I was. See, I served the addiction. I talked about the allegiance before. I served the addiction. Okay? The most one-sided allegiance that could exist. Because the addiction don't want nothing to do with me. Nothing. You know? And the behavior was behavior of the addiction by way of choice I made my own. And there was my service. So the intimacy in the service, I didn't have a clue. You know, I do know addiction, and I do know being an addict. Okay? A lot of things I talk about could apply to our world as well as the civilian world. Oh, Oh, there's a major difference. You see, the arenas we walk out of as addicts got nothing in parallel with the civilian world, man. Come out of war zones. There's nothing civilian about where we walk out of especially when we walk through the doors of recovery, because we must be beaten and broken. So you know the arena we just stepped out of has nothing to do with civilian life. Okay? However, yeah, these things I talk about could help the civilian population. But however, I'm a junkie. So I'll get back to talking about what I know. Okay? The third step, faith, trust, commitment. That he's shown in me, that I now show in him, and the intimacy that he introduced me to, has brought me, with the prior principles, to a life beyond my wildest dreams. And I'm talking about eternal life. Eternal life. No Maseratis, no multiple homes, no bank accounts could ever create, okay, what's going on in my eternal life. Okay? My eternal life. Those things could be an expression of, okay? And those things could be created, or this beautiful where I'm at right now. But these things could never create what's going on inside me. The principles that lie within the steps has created my eternal life because they're the character of the God of my understanding. You see, if I don't have a program, if I'm not working those principles, I don't have God in my understanding. If I don't have God in my understanding, I don't have a program. It's crucial. So the third step. So this is major. So why are these steps major, man? Why? 3 steps. I'm only in 3 of them. Okay? You know what I mean? I'm going to go on into the 4th and on up. I'm going to go on. But why? I heard something from a gentleman when I was in a meeting, and I needed to hear it so bad during that 3rd step. Around 4 months, so 5 months. I didn't come into recovery to make friends. Okay? I came into recovery to find my purpose. I so needed to hear that. I so needed to hear that. Because the people I came in with, okay, I was already leaving. You know? And where I was growing, you see, people want you to get healthy, but don't get too healthy. Okay? People want you to get healthy, but don't get too healthy. Yeah. So, that happens in life, that'll happen in rooms, that'll happen everywhere. Okay? With people we know, okay, in our addiction, yeah, people we know in our addiction, like it's getting healthy because we can produce, but don't get too healthy, where we want to start making our own choices. The people we come in with, same deal. You see? Okay, and the people we're yet to meet, it'll happen again. Okay, so I didn't come in to make friends. Okay, I came in to find my purpose. So where did that bring me? Now I got some principles. Where did that bring me? Well, one, I never made anything. I had to learn friends become friends. I don't make them. That was one. It was major. I thought I made friends. I thought I make stuff. You know, I thought I made things happen, man. Never made anything happen. Seeking people's approval. You see, I was well into understanding, finally once, the God of my understanding. I don't need your approval. Profoundly and ultimately, I only need his approval. Okay? But I can only step in his commands and have that train of thought in mind, body, and soul if I'm principled. You see, the God of my understanding gives me a command. I can't run with that command in defect. Well, what's defect? Instead of closed-minded, instead of open-minded. Okay, unwilling to hear anybody because the God of my understanding said something. No. I need to be open-minded and stay willing. Okay, I need to stay honest about what it is that I'm listening to because the God of my understanding speaks through people. I can't, you know something? And he'll change his commands to see if I'm listening. Okay? So no, I just can't hear a command and run in defect with it. Won't work. I could only hear a command and run with it principled. And there it is. I'm in the God of my understanding's will and in his command. You know, it's funny, there's a very different thing about a human command and a command from the God of my understanding. A human command is do this. Okay? The God of my understanding, you bet it's do this, but here I'm also direct and instruct you. So what happened from that first lightning bolt? Because I'm going to end this pretty soon. I'm going to get into the fourth step. As far as my story / solution goes, at another date. Okay. That's the big difference between the command from a human and the command from the God of my understanding. Is one, the human just do this, God of my understanding, do this, and here I'll direct and instruct you. One big difference from that lightning bolt, I'm going to get back to that, I'm going to end it here. One big difference from that lightning bolt, okay? That happened to me 4 days in. My sensitivity towards everything has come from my sensitivity and listening to the God of my understanding. No more lightning bolts, just more sensitivity. Okay, I'm going to close with that. Okay, and next time I come out here to film, I want to get into that fourth step and keep in my story, my solution. Like I said, my allegiance is with the God of my understanding, not with the addiction and the drug-a-log. The solution that we put down, don't ever mistake the solution for the addiction. The solution I put down was my set, okay, to survive the onslaught of the addiction. Okay, when I put that solution down, I need another one. Okay, the solution is the 12 steps and the spiritual principles that lie within them, the actual application of them, and the lifestyle that's born up out of them. I'll see you in a little bit. Have a great day.